found 19 keys, and this is high-level conversation.
This is a superposition number. So therefore, like 19, 1 and 9 have both of those characteristics and properties in them. It's almost like an alpha omega.
Mm-hmm.
You could think of it like that. So when you start to dig a little bit deeper and pull this thread a little bit further, you start realizing, okay, well, how can we show this in mathematics? And what does this relate to esotericism and divinity, for example, or philosophy? And I was asked last week to go to Las Vegas to meet with a billionaire who wanted to be proven that God exists through mathematics. Kind of interesting thing, right? And who else?
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck am I doing? I used to be a farmer CEO. Now I'm flying to Las Vegas to meet with a billionaire guy who is genuinely curious, wants to understand if God exists and if that it can be proven mathematically. And for him and his relatives that were also involved in this, he has a very important case that's worth billions of dollars. And they all believe that they need to believe in God. So therefore, they're like, there's a lot riding on this, Robert. You got to prove to him that God exists. And not God from the standpoint of like some old, guy with white hair, but rather that the whole universe is intelligent. So I started off with 0 to the power of 0 equals what? And of course, most people would answer 0 to the power of 0 equals what? What would you expect it to be? 0. Most people would expect it to be 0. But the answer is actually 1. So if you have your phone, pull it out for a second. Okay, so if you take 0 to the power of 0, how could we find, without just using that as the equation to define it as the number 1, right? And if you go on Google Calculator right now and do 0 to the power of 0, it'll give you the answer as 1. Okay, so I'll just cheat for you right now. You know that much. But let's go beyond that to understand why does 0 to the power of 0 actually equal 1 in truth, not just because it's some mathematical definition that somebody came along and said it must be so. So let's take a smaller number, right? And take, 0.5 to the power of x to the y right here. That's how you do it. The same 0.5 equals 0.707, right? 0.707. Now, if I go with a smaller number, will the result be larger? So 0.05, the last time was 0.5, to the power of 0.05 equals 0.86. That's bigger than 0.707, right? So let's go 0.005 to the power of 0.005 equals 0.97. So let's do 10 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5 to the power of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5. And it's 0.9999998. You see what's happening? It's converging to 1. So as I approach 0, 0 to the power of 0 equals 1. That means nothing to the power of nothing equals everything.
I mean, it's a mathematical equation for a self-created God into man.
Exactly.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said in Theology of Time, it's lightly quoting him, but he was giving an explanation. He say you take a cipher out there as a 0 by itself, right? And he was explaining how man is empowered by God, right? You have a 1 out there. And if you put a 0 in front of that 1, right, then it's still a 1. But that 0 represents God, that cipher of unlimited potential. But he was explaining when you believe in God, then God gets behind you, then you are multiplied, right? And he was explaining that we go from nothing into something when we have a belief in God and when we are with God. And there are many of us out here, they just by themselves, but you're not multiplied until you have that belief in God, until you're operating from that power. But as you talk about, the
0 to the power of 0.
0 to the power of 0 equals 1, it directly correlates, right, with the belief that, I think it was Tahuti that talks about God falling from heaven and becoming man, right? It's the ascension process, the ascension protocol, right? We start off formless and then we become vertical men standing up, right? That's our representation. So I was always taught about, if you look out in the vastness, the darkness of time in the universe, how does God create himself out of nothing, from nothing? Motion.
Here's the math of it.
Once motion begins, that's the first law within the universe. And then you put order to that motion. This one got the isolate CBD, the black seed oil, the MCT oil, and the lion's mane powder. I think it's too much in here. I think we need to we got to calm this product down. It's too much. It's too much. Bro, I took this and I was going all day. Ain't nobody got that much work to get done in a day where they need to be taking Supermind. Like, what if you a house mom and all of a sudden you get everything done in one day and you ain't got nothing to do the rest of the week? I took this. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the rest of my life. I feel like I done got everything done. I was up. Right. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I changed the world 1,000 times on this. I done figured out every single plan. The next thing I need to have is patience, because I done planned everything. I done did everything I could do in a day. I'm serious. Like, I think we put too much in here. We need to cut down the ingredient list, and we need to make this regular mind, because this is like Viagra for the brain. If you look at the number 6, right? 6 is a
number.
Yes, that same 6, of course, we see that frequency within the universe. We see it in the seashells. We see it all over, right? But that number 6 represents what? It also represents man, right? And in that representation, it's a perfect representation of God power stored in physical form, right? So if you want to see, you talk about matter, of course, is energy stored, but within man, man is where God is stored in matter, right? And there's no other perfect representation than that. Man is the only one who asks the questions in the first place. Right? Man is the only one who wants to get to know God, right? Because he wants to get to know self. Man is just seeking an understanding of self at all times.
Yep.
And we find the most beautiful ways to get to that discovery. And whether you think you believe in God, in one way or another, you do. The scientists may not think they believe in God, but when they come up with these equations, all they're doing is finding proof of someone else's belief. Right? And you call it something else. And because you may not go with the word God, does not mean that what you are describing is not God.
Exactly.
Peace, family. If you want to see us at the highest level, if you want to see us at the top of the podcast charts, this is the way you can help, not just with your views and your attention. First of all, I want to thank you for being here, listening, watching, sharing, but we also need you to comment. This is how support looks like. I need you to comment the best thing you liked about the episode or the worst thing. It's up to you, whatever you would like to share. Then I need you to go and put in them 5 stars. Go to Apple's, go to Spotify's, go everywhere, and I need to see them testimonials, and I need you to go on Apple and Spotify and download and subscribe. The more downloads we get, the better we are able to do in business, and the more we can grow this high level media. Again, I want to thank you all for supporting. Thank you all for tapping in. If you want to book, the booking email is 19keys@19keys.com. Tap in.
I'm 19 Keys, and this is high level conversation.